You are touring now. How do you live these moments?
It's very exciting, yeah. This is only really the second time Miles and I have, made a record and gone on tour together. So and it's not going to last very long. So we're making the most of it.
Yeah, that's the way we look at it. Looking at this thing, that we're enjoying every second of it.
Trying to make every show different.
Yeah, we like to spice it up, don't we, in the show? And we like to take things out and put things in and twist it and all that, And it's exciting.
Is it the most exciting part of your work as a musician, or what do you prefer? What do you like?
What do you prefer?
I prefer, I love the performing aspect, and I think it's, in a way, it's like a time just to enjoy the songs, you know what I mean? And the hard work is done in the studio, I guess, working out the parts, writing, putting it down, and then I see the live thing as like an enjoyment, just to sort of express them songs live, and enjoy playing them.
Yeah, I think it comes very naturally to this young man being on stage, to Miles, He was born to creep the boards.
It seems so. When I looked some videos, I noticed that your fans, your public, enjoy the complicity and the chemistry that you have on scene. It's not really a question, but
yeah.
How do you feel it? Do you play with it? Do you enjoy it? Does it change something in your way of making music?
I think so. I think it's almost sometimes as if you're performing for one another as well as the audience.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say so. And it's like you can play off each other, and that's what the exciting thing is, because we haven't done that for a while, you know what I mean? And you can give a look or swap the mics and swap stances, and you can.
We're trying to. We're singing a lot of vocal harmonies together, and I think this harmony is something we would like to spread to the whole performance, not just in the vocals, but in the movement.
Yeah.
And
what does the fact of being the Last Shadow Puppets together bring to you that other projects you don't?
Yeah, well, this is just exactly that. It's the only thing we do that we do together, So it's different musicians, a whole, different set of songs. But obviously we have a small string section playing with us on stage. These things we don't do like with the Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, it's that really.
Or me,
yeah. You are alone and.
When I'm alone and on the River Nile.
It's been 8 years now since the age of understatement.
Yeah.
What do you think you have lost or win on your way?
Yeah, a lot's changed. Go on, what are you going to say? Perhaps.
I think perhaps what makes the first record, or one of its strong points, is that there is kind of a naivety that comes with being like a 21-year-old trying to make this music that was sort of, there's something like grandiose about the sounds of that record that sort of perhaps didn't match. It was us trying to make a Scott Walker record or a Morricone thing, and I think it's something about going for something and not quite making it, I think. In terms of the way we were singing, to me anyway, when I hear it, that it's like us trying to sing like Scott Walker and not quite doing it. There's perhaps something positive that came out of that, and it's the sound of that, I think. Whereas on this second record, you're a little bit more like aware of yourself and what you're doing and what you're capable of. So that's a change. But as far as the foundation of the whole thing is Miles and Miles' friendship, and that's still kind of the same as it was all those years ago.
You were talking about the strings you use. Why do you use them with the Last Shadow Puppets? Why do you love?
Yeah, well, it's probably from when Al touched on it just then, when we'd made our first record and we got into, on the first album we made, we were listening to all those songs like Gainsbourg, Scott Walker that had strings, and we had this idea to make a band that was like that did sort of epic music that had an orchestra on it, or strings or horns. So that became our sound on the first record. So we kind of just carried it over onto this one, you know. I guess that's kind of part of the Puppet sound.
But the sound has changed.
Yeah.
Between the age of Understatement.
Yeah, but it's going, of course it has. And
I think that came pretty naturally, that shift. The question became more, right, in this record, how are we going to give it a connection to that first record, because it had been so long. And that's part of the reason why, you know, we used the same producer, James Ford, and the same string arranger, Owen Pallett, as we did the first time round, to try and have a relationship with the first one we did. You listen to a lot of music, I presume, so you think that, like,
very different music.
yeah,
yes.
so like you recognise that there's differences in the sound, but I think to a lot of people just hear it and wouldn't imagine it was that different from the first record, or like anything that we do by ourselves separate to it. You know, I think like this time there's less. You know, it's kind of, maybe it's sitting down in its seat a little bit more. It's not so
slightly more hunched.
Yeah, and kind of leaning back in.
More comfortable.
Yeah, you know, it's got softer edges.
It's got a pair of repettos on.
And exactly, it's got wearing a pair of repettos and some loose-fitting velour. Full stop.
Is there something that you do on touring before getting up on stage?
Usually, I like to. This is not a sexy answer at all, but I like to have a nap. I feel like I play best when I have like half an hour asleep in a leather jacket. And Miles likes to dance around, listening to Northern Soul.
Yeah.
And then we converge 7 to 10 minutes before the show.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know,
get
ignite.
Yeah.
It's one of your songs that you think represents the best what you are or what you want to show.
Of the
You, Alex, you, Miles, and maybe you together.
Yeah, okay. A good side of me is a song like Bad Habits, I guess. I really enjoy that one, and playing that and screaming.
It suits you quite well.
Yeah, that style suits me, I think.
Whereas I, on the other hand, I'm not built for a song like Bad Habits. So I'll be in the other room playing a Donovan cover. The most important song on this record for me was probably Aviation.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, Miles and I were working together, writing some songs which was possibly going to be considered for his next solo album, and we wrote Aviation. And every time I listened to the demo recording of it, I just imagined that, you know, the two of us performing it together. And there was one specific vocal harmony idea that we were experimenting with on that song. It's on the line, "The colour armour in your eyes takes me on a moonlight drive," and I did a higher harmony on what he was singing. Something happened, and then every time I heard that part, it seemed like I was exposed to some, you know, like a new part of my imagination that I really wanted to like explore, and I thought that somewhere within that would be the second Shadow Puppets album.
And how do you share the songs between who
sings? We try it out. On some it's like very clear, like I guess on a sort of a Bad Habits, it was quite clear I'd do that, and then on a Sweet Dreams it's clear that Al will do that. But on the others, say, you know, like Element Surprise or Used to Be My Girl, we'll try where one will sing the lead and then the other do the harmony, or then try it both ways, and then it's pretty clear pretty soon who takes what in a way.
You are here in France in a festival called Europavox. Does Europe mean something to you? You live in the US, you travel a lot.
But I mean,
We love Europe.
Yeah, we done
especially in France as well. We love coming here.
Yeah,
it's been good to us. You know, we always do good gigs here, and
yeah,
there's a lot of love.
In the last 10 years, we've spent a lot of time in the especially like this time of year in the summer, touring around Europe. It's kind of become very familiar, even though there's lots. You know, we haven't really explored it that much. Like a lot of people ever probably travel around because we're always just, you know. But yeah, it's great. It's wonderful to play in Europe.
Okay, well, if you want to say something more, the microphone is open.
I think we're good, Elaine. Yeah.
Okay.
Merci beaucoup.
Ah yes, that's a good idea. What can you say in French?
I'm passing the book.
What can we say in French? Le monde entier est un cactus. Il est impossible de s'asseoir. Dans la vie, il y a les cactus. Moi, je me pique de le savoir.
Aïe aïe! Oi! Aïe aïe!